From Cherry Hill Publishing, The Boys Club by Angie Martin. Read by Tim McKean. Logan, Gabriel. Gabe peeked around the man who had pushed him against the wall and watched as the police officer scanned the mass of men in the overcrowded jail cell. The man in front of him tightened his hold on his shirt and slapped his sweaty hand over Gabe's mouth. "Don't you say anything." His alcohol-infused breath seethed through rotting teeth, and Gabe held his own breath to avoid the stench. "I'll kill you before you get 2 words out." Gabe had started out the night in an empty, large cell, after he broke into a home to steal a few small items to sell in hopes of quieting his growling stomach. The owners came home early, retrieved the shotgun from their front closet, and held him at gunpoint until the cops arrived to take him away. Not his first time in the back of a police car, he assumed he would spend another night in a cozy juvenile hall before being sent off to yet another foster family. Instead, the cops hauled him to the county jail. The empty cell lulled him into thinking the night wouldn't be so bad. But when large men of varying criminal backgrounds filled up the cell, all sorts of colorful threats floated toward the youngest, skinniest inmate. "Logan, Gabriel," the officer called out again. "Where the hell are you, kid?" "Do you think these drunks are going to let him go?" another male voice asked. "Get some backup and go in there and get him." The second man's angry, low tone scared Gabe a little more than the men in the cell, but smashed between the wall and a beer gut, he didn't want to stay in the cell a minute longer. "Don't tell me how to do my job," the officer said. "Then do your job. You shouldn't put him in the drunk tank to begin with, let alone a jail cell." "He's robbed 4 houses in the last month. Where do you suggest we put him?" "He's a 15-year-old kid. Get him out of there now." Gabe decided to hell with the consequences. If he didn't speak up, they might never come in, leaving him at the mercy of the brutes around him. "I'm here." The man who held him smashed his fist into Gabe's lip and punched his stomach. While the guard called for backup, Gabe fell over and his forehead met the man's knee. The skin above his eye split open and Gabe cried out. Gabe's head flew back with the impact, but the man let go of him. Though half blinded by the blood in his eyes, Gabe dropped to the ground and crawled around the man. Officers grabbed the man and threw him to the ground. An unfamiliar face pulled Gabe to his feet and hurried him out of the cell, through the stale odors of alcohol and urine. When they left the cell, the man told Gabe to keep walking. The main officer yelled at them to stop. The man next to Gabe whirled around with his index finger extended. "I'm taking him now. You're lucky I don't file a complaint about this matter." He pointed to the cell. "I want that man brought up on additional charges along with anyone else that even breathed in this kid's direction. And I will follow up on that, officer." Though his head pounded in pain, the adrenaline of getting out rushed through Gabe's body. He pointed at the cop and leered. "That's right, officer." "You either shut the hell up," the man said through clenched teeth, "or you can spend the night in that cell with your buddies, and I'll come back for you in the morning." Gabe's hand flew up above his shoulders. I'm good. As they moved out of the cell block and down the hall toward the main lobby of the police station, Gabe got his first look at the man. Gray strands peppered the sides of his short brown hair. Wrinkles pointed toward hard, blue eyes, while more lines encompassed his downturned mouth. Gabe had not seen him before, but he already knew it would be suicidal to ever cross him. "Who are you?" Gabe asked. "Your guardian angel." He pinched Gabe's arm. "You sure are scrawny, but you'll do, I suppose." Gabe scowled at the word scrawny. Taller than most 15-year-olds, he knew how to take care of himself without being bulked up with muscle. "Do for what?" he asked the man. "Are you like some pervert social worker? I don't know what they told you, but I don't do that for food like some of the other kids on the streets." The man's hearty laugh answered Gabe's question. "So, If you're not a social worker or a pervert, who are you? The man pushed open the doors of the police station and stopped at the top of the steps. He pulled a handkerchief out of his jeans pocket and handed it to Gabe. You're bleeding all over the place. You really know how to find trouble, don't you? Gabe took the linen and pressed it to the open wound over his left eye. Who are you? The man held out his hand. Jim Schaefer, but everyone calls me Schaefer. Gabe accepted his hand in a firm shake. Gabe Logan. Nice to officially meet you, Logan. Gabe Logan. If you don't mind, I'll call you Logan. Gabe is a scrawny burglar who gets caught a little too easily. Look, thanks for getting me out of there and all, but I got it from here. He started toward the steps, but halted when he caught a glimpse of a car parked on the side of the street. His eyes widened and he lowered the handkerchief away from his face. Whoa. Schaefer smirked and walked over to the vehicle. He leaned against it and folded his arms. You like it? Are you serious? He moved closer to the car and restrained himself from running his fingers over the freshly waxed burgundy exterior. A 1965 Mustang Fastback, original paint, and what, a V8? You know your cars. Is it yours? It is, Schaefer said. But the real question is, have you ever stolen one of these? I haven't stolen any cars. Want to learn? Gabe narrowed his eyes and stared down Schaefer. Okay, who are you? Former Special Agent Jim Schaefer with the FBI. Former? Gabe laughed. Did they kick you out because you stole this car? Not exactly. I decided to branch out on my own. I'm getting together a group of boys like you who have special talents, if you will. To steal cars? And save the world. To put things right that the feds and cops can't. There are a lot of people who pay a lot of money to make things right. And you think I can help? Gabe turned to walk away. You have the wrong man, Schaefer. I have the right boy for the job, and I plan on turning you into the right man. Schaefer placed his hand on Gabe's shoulder. When's the last time you had 3 meals a day? When you had a bed to sleep in at night? When you didn't have to fight for everything you have, only to find out you still have nothing? Staring at the front passenger tire, Gabe's vision glazed over. He had never been in that kind of position. Even in one of his many foster homes, he had to sacrifice other things to get those meals, if 3 meals a day were even offered. On the streets, he never knew when he would eat next, if he did at all, and he slept in a different alley almost every night. The idea of not being on the streets and not having to steal and fight to survive sounded better and better with each passing second. So what do you say, Logan? Want to come save the world with me? Gabe took a long look at the Mustang, then glanced in Schaefer's direction and grinned. I'm in.